They're not supposed to.
Yeah.
Well, if they can't.
It was hit on the highway or
Oh, this one, nah,
Morning.
I doubt it.
No.
There were 3 left unclaimed.
Well, was there?
That's
And
wasting
somebody
meat.
saw somebody walk up, the hunter walk up, look at it and left. Didn't want it.
That's against the law.
You know, with that, they ought to have to take it and prepare it and give it to the food store.
Yeah, process it and.
Yeah.
Well, they, you
Somebody
know,
that can use it.
yeah, I mean, that's wasting meat, that's definitely against the law.
Huh.
I
I don't know.
Another one that makes me mad always is when they shoot a big bull. They cut it off at the neck and take it.
And leave it.
leave the meat, yeah, that's illegal too.
Yeah.
My son's always a fount of information. Oh, Mom, that's illegal, Mom, that's illegal. Are you guys in open meeting yet? I mean, you function, I just had a question.
No, we haven't even started yet. Go
Okay,
ahead.
you know, you still trying to figure out where to put, or whatever, that restaurant used to be a good restaurant, and then it kinda went to hell, up across from the fairgrounds.
Oh, the old fireside.
Yeah, I bet that piece of property's for sale for nothing. And
But
it's
you know what
right
the problem is?
across,
It's sewer problems there.
oh, I was thinking of, you know, storage or, can't put a septic in
It's,
that'll
years
work.
ago, they had all kinds of problems with septic there.
Okay,
And so I suspect I can't say for a fact, so don't quote me on that, but I would suspect that that is the big problem.
I'm thinking, you know, storage building or whatever, it's right
Yeah.
across from the fairgrounds, and you could put a holding tank in there for
Mhm.
whatever. I drive by it and it's just, and of course the mansion is sitting out there, looks like it's deserted.
They're working on it. Somebody's in the process of buying that, I think.
Oh, really?
Mhm.
Well, that's good.
That was in a bank deal.
I kept thinking about that place, thinking about this place, and I'm gonna go say something. Where is everybody?
not. You mentioned moving down that way though, and they've got sewer and septic problems down in there, don't they?
I don't know. I know up there they've got big problems.
What about the houses that are up there,
Up where?
up by the
Oh,
old fireside?
I don't know.
Septic tank.
I know that the fairgrounds, that's all okay.
Now,
Nah. Wasn't always.
yeah, well,
Since this last fair,
you know, it backed up, I mean, they had to get Levi in with his truck to put in outhouses, et cetera, real fast.
Well, because the pump went.
Yeah. Pumps always go when you need them. What are you doing?
Good morning, everybody. Let's stand for the pledge, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America,
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good morning and welcome. Monday, October 26th, 2015, Board Road County Commission. First name, 110 minutes, Franklin. Laura.
I would again just like to commend Mother Nature on these beautiful sunrises that she's given us. Just incredible. The fog the other day was just eerily beautiful. We are truly living in paradise and so very,
Her
very
paint
lucky.
job is sure nice too.
Absolutely,
Everything
yes.
looks, you know, if you were in down south and it's just all one color, We're blessed to live where we do, I think.
Yes.
I don't get those sunrises.
We had nice rain this morning in Towson.
Did you? We had a rain, but there wasn't much to it.
Good rain.
Okay. Community update.
I attended the health board meeting last week. I think that was the only thing.
Okay, Laura.
Yeah, we had a good Board of Health meeting last week, some homework to follow up on. But it was a busy week. We also had the Bureau of Reclamation in town from the national office. And Mia's gonna be coming to give us an update, but they have decided to go ahead and follow through with releasing their property. Currently, the BOR owns the property underneath the golf course, the softball fields, and the Rod and Gun Club. And so we are in the process, initiated by the trust board, to ask BOR to relinquish that to the county. So they were here, that is, they are going to do it. The only question now is the process and what steps need to be followed in order for that to go to the county. And it was going to be county and city joint, it still will. We're going to form a board of the two so that we're working in concert together, but it will probably have to be headed by the county since we are the larger entity. Trust board, we also had a follow-up on that very subject this week. THS board meeting, they have a new board member, Kelly McBride is the newest board
Was that a
member.
new member to the county?
She grew up here when she was a kid. McBride is her married name. She is a Goodwin.
Bill Goodwin's daughter.
Really?
Yeah,
Well, that's
Yeah.
a blast from the past.
yeah. So I think she's gonna be a good asset to that board. It's already a very good board. Agency on Aging, we had our quarterly meeting all day in Livingston this week, and they have a new food bank. Sarah, you're a volunteer with the food bank, aren't you? No? Well, they just built,
When I'm not.
they had a guy move to town who was in corporate America, and he headed up this group to relook at the food bank. And what he did with his team is determine that, you know, there are people who need help from time to time, so how can we help them not only by giving them some food, but also by that next step? So they now have a culinary kitchen where they train people to cook. They have 100% placement of these folks into the local restaurants, hospitality jobs, hotels. They have decreased their clientele for the food bank, and it's been just a huge success. So it was really great to be able to go and see that and see some of the ideas that are out there in the rest of the state. It was pretty inspirational.
That is a good idea.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Michael, but I don't remember his last name. I can get it for you though, Sarah.
I'm just thinking, you know, we're still trying to get people to our LIC meetings. There's one more?
Yeah,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah. In LAC, it's intertwined, you know,
Yeah.
how many of those folks also need the help of the food pantry.
Absolutely.
And then, of course, you get into assisted living or low-income housing, who can afford a $200,000 home when they're dealing with mental health issues.
Mhm.
So everything is intertwined, and it was just neat to hear all these people involved with these different boards start throwing out ideas and issues, just like Sarah did. And then finally, we had our Fall Fest debrief, and that was the week. It was a chock-full week.
It was a tough one.
One of the-
Go ahead.
Elaine, since we're on all this, remember last week when Over accused me of double dipping on my claim when we went to a conference in Missoula for MACO? There's a cancer check right there, Montana Association of Counties.
Very good, thank you. Okay,
I want that on record.
the health board meeting last week, a good meeting, very good meeting. I also attended the rural fire district meeting. You know, my hat's off to those guys. They do a lot of wonderful things and training a lot of people. And they're actually at our beck and call. And so that is very good. And doctors, that's all.
Which is very important,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay.
Madam Chair,
Uh-huh.
if I may, Can I just request that Franklin connect, or attach that proof of payment to his claim?
It was.
As that was what was missing from it last week.
Okay.
And on that note, I do have a memo with some additional information I would like to submit for the record.
Pass it down.
Either that or keep it. If you guys wanna see this, you're more than welcome to. What we have here is a memo note. I'm not gonna read the whole thing, but this is dealing with that issue that Commissioner Slivka just brought up. He did request reimbursement for $165,000, or $165. He did submit the attendance stub from the conference, and that is what this is, the blank sheet that was in his claim. Here's mine. It's exactly the same. It says exactly the same information. This is what it looks like prior to being copied. Every attendee at the conference gets this. It doesn't say who paid for the conference, it just says you attended the conference, period. This is not a receipt. I attached this to show that the two are exactly the same. The county paid, Franklin said he paid. He now has provided information for the claim. He needs to attach it so that we can readdress that. The other issues that I want to bring up with this is the yelling, the intimidation, the bullying was inappropriate and not okay. Intimidation is defined by MCA 455203, and a person commits the offense of intimidation when, with the purpose to cause another to perform or to admit the performance of any act. The yelling, the pounding the table, the carrying on was clearly to cause you and I to go ahead and approve a claim even though there was no proof that Commissioner Slivka had paid it,
That pound the table, Elaine?
and to omit
I never pounded
our,
the table.
and to omit our being diligent and requiring that documentation that's required of any employee. The second issue I take with what happened last week is that this all took place in a closed-door meeting. Commissioners do not have constitutional rights to privacy. Claims are public domain. The discussion should have taken place in the public, not in a closed door. And my third issue is the Broadwater County Public Process Policy specifically states that yelling, interrupting, and berating treatment of fellow commissioners and employees is prohibited. Franklin, Commissioner Slivka violated that as well. The last paragraph says, at the very least, an apology by Commissioner Slivka is warranted to both Commissioner Gravely and myself, and proper documentation is required to prove he did pay the $165 before we can approve any reimbursement.
Thank you.
Several things here, Elaine, Madam Chair. That receipt, when I asked, when I checked in there and everything and paid, I said, how about a receipt? And they said, here, this is your receipt, and that's what they give you right then. And as far as closed door meeting, we had not started the closed door meeting yet at the time. And the rest of your erratic is just all there. Anyway,
If you guys would like copies, you
folks
want
out in
to to them.
the audience, you realize.
You know, this brings up, I don't know if I'm out of line, but I'm gonna bring it up. Mako's midwinter training. Let me get my paper up here. And it's the elected county officials training and recertification. Well, all three of us have been through the training, but there's some stuff in there that I think that it would be great if all three of us could be there and hear the same thing at the same time. So my suggestion is that we all go, because there's stuff there, what our responsibilities are, what our legal rights are, and how to handle, help us to understand. So I would like to suggest that the three of us sign up and go to that.
I'd like to also, I think that's a great idea. I think we also should invite our county attorney to join us so the four of us can hear the information together. and be sure to be on the same wavelength.
I agree.
Okay. Thank you for that.
Okay.
Back again here, Elaine, see where she's pounding the table and yelling. I might have got a little loud, but I sure never pounded the table. And you can sure acknowledge that.
Okay, payroll. In the amount of
Hey,
191.
Sarah, I know it's loud out there.
Do I
but we
have
have-
to even?
Yeah, I'm sorry for open meeting laws.
Okay.
Thanks.
In the amount of $191,950.53.
Move to pay payroll in the stated amount.
So moved and seconded that we pay payroll in the amount of $191,950.53. All in favor, say aye.
Hi.
Opposed, the same. I got the pencil rather than pen. Here's your stash.
There you go.
Short of having to dump it all out. From PSC, an application for certification of compliance. Billings Yellowstone Cab LLC doing business as Yellow Cab and Limousine. And it just tells about that. Anybody that wants to read about it is more than welcome to take a look. A letter from DNRC regarding the proposed capital 360-degree collaborative, a fuels reduction collaborative. The prospective member, the Capital Valley, is in the process of successfully navigating another fire season. This success is based on all of our efforts. Volunteers, public officials, and interested parties have prepared, planned, and conducted work within the valley to ensure we are prepared for emergency events. Strong relationships between entities have built the foundation for our success. The DNRC appreciates and recognizes all of your work and would like to thank you for your effort. To bolster our success, it is important we continue to take a landscape approach and work across all ownership. There are new and existing funding opportunities for fuel reduction, work that can help us meet this landscape objective and continue to protect our community. The creation of a proactive collaborative in Capital Valley would position us to pursue these grants as well as utilize and leverage existing funding sources. Please join me in taking the next step to build on all the great work we have done to date. If we combine forces, local government, federal agencies, state agencies, volunteer fire departments, fire districts, etc., I believe we can build a strong capital collaborative. I have taken the liberty to draft a mission statement reading. The Capital 360 Collaborative is comprised of federal, state, local governments, non-governmental organizations, and the citizens of Montana having a common vision of creating a primary line of defense around and within the Capital Valley. The collaborative will focus on fuels, reduction work, and maintenance within the PLOD. The PLOD will benefit fire managers by providing a strategical operational opportunity for them to work within safety. The members will strongly engage and support each other's efforts, focus efforts efficiently between and among entities, and keep the public's best interest as its primary value. Please join us on October 16th, this is done in the past, to discuss full detail. The meeting will be held in the Central Land Office, Montana Avenue, from 10 a.m. till 2 o'clock. Lunch will be prepared and provided from 12 to 1. My goal is for these meetings are to form and discuss the governance, agree on a mission statement, solicit input needed to develop the values, to determine the PLOD boundary, identify roles and responsibilities, and next steps. I valued your thoughts and look forward to the discussion on the October 16th. Please RSVP Debbie and her email address. Thank you for all your work, Hoyt Richards.
We talk about the collaboratives a lot in the Forest and Counties meeting, and they've been actually quite successful in combating those frivolous lawsuits. Not 100% yet, but he's going in the right direction.
Now, is Corey coming over for that, right?
I doubt it. He's working with the district board right now, the hospital district board.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna put a hold on this stuff and get her back on schedule. Public hearing to adopt resolution for fiscal year 15-16 salaries. We'll close the regular meeting and open the public hearing. Mrs. Gravely left her stuff in the car.
You can share mine.
I was running so fast and hard that I thought I might have left myself in the car. All right. Do you want to explain them, please?
We can get extra copies if you guys are interested. I just scribbled all over mine. I'd be happy to make more copies though, but basically this is something we do every year. It's just part of our paperwork. And we just put as a public document what each of the different positions within the county are making.
I think, good idea.
Why don't you get a copy?
What do we do?
You do. I think she has to make them.
Do you have to make them?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay.
After the meeting, we can get you some.
Okay, I write down. Sarah,
I'd be happy to run down and ask Debbie to print some that don't have my scribbles all over them.
Okay.
Would you like that? Oh, thanks, Ann. Would you also bring
Well,
3.
an org charts too?
Four.
Thanks.
4, and
All right.
so I don't have to go dig in my car.
how far away is it?
Hmm?
Where'd you park? Downstairs?
Out back. That's where I was parked.
Near the elevator?
Yes. Speaking of the elevator, off the record now, the journal. Somebody was in there this morning that'd been smoking cigars.
Oh,
That's the second complaint we've had. This is a no smoking campus, so you have to go across the street to smoke. We've had fires started in the flower pots, complaints of smoking in the elevator. I've smelled it in the bathrooms. Yeah,
It's really offensive.
well, yeah. It's okay to smoke, just not on a no smoking campus, or elevators, bathrooms, or start fires.
Mm-hmm. You know, and some people are allergic to
Oh, yes.
tobacco smoke.
and pot.
Really?
So are both of my kids. They're teachers, so they can just walk along and tell security, my daughter would say, take that pot in the boys' room. They'd say, how'd you know? Because we get an allergic reaction and nobody ever thinks about that. So,
Our youngest, when he would be around somebody smoking, he would just choke up something first.
yeah. Cigars, oh jeez.
Hmm?
Cigars, I mean, you know, anybody
Yeah,
that
I mean,
smokes
it just-
cigars.
I think we need an air freshener in here because it doesn't smell nice. And then that's in our clothes.
Yeah.
If the fire alarm in the elevator would go off and somebody was smoking in there,
Well, that's an idea.
I mean, I don't know if they have such a thing, but
I
it'd be a
don't
good
know.
idea.
You get one of those, ones that you use at home that would just make an ungodly noise,
And then everybody'd have to run and see who's in the elevator.
what they're doing.
Elaine,
Yes, ma'am.
Laura mentioned that Franklin was yelling and stuff. A lot of times he don't speak loud enough for me to hear him.
Oh, you should have been here. You would have heard him down the street.
You know, who knows?
We do.
But
Yeah.
Oh,
Can I ask a question?
Yes, ma'am.
Do we have any sort of restrictions on littering, but even beyond littering, like questionable containers? There's a guy down Lower Deep Creek, and he's got, you may have seen it, he lives next to Donnie Plymel. Donnie put up a fence because it's so bad. But beyond the litter, he's got a whole bunch of plastic containers, like the kind that you might have poison for, pesticides or herbicides or something in. And they're on his place, but and he's got all these boxes too, that they all blow onto the road and stuff. Nobody knows what, I said, do you suppose there's something in those containers that is not real neat? Hazardous, thank you. It's Monday, who can think? Is there any,
Statute?
I think there is a thing in the law about,
I mean, other than being the biggest slob in the world,
yeah, about decay.
Well, this isn't gonna decay because they're plastic or something.
But they're saying that not as it will disintegrate, as that it just makes such a mess.
Oh, okay. Well, and then his cardboard boxes, some of them have blown off of his property and onto the road. That's just plain littering. He's the one that has all those dogs in cans that, have to cook in the summer. Poor things. He's got them in oil cans in the bank, and when it's 110 or whenever, they're facing south and,
Poor critters.
yeah, well, I think we need some basic, nobody wants to be told what to do, but on the other hand, you shouldn't be allowed to hurt other people or animals.
Elaine, we don't have any ordinances about cleaning up your yards, but I'm wondering if through the environmental health office and the board of health, if the public health officer and maybe the environmental health employee couldn't actually look into that, or at least write a letter on that subject.
That would be a good idea. Do you know his name, who he is?
Well, one of his dogs got loose one day, and he gave me his name and his phone number, and asked if he, if I found the dog, if I'd call him. I thought, well, I'm gonna take it to the Humane Society first. That's off the record, don't put that down, Ann. But,
Does he have a lot of dogs?
he had about 10 at one point, and I know that somebody got up there to take care of them this summer, and whenever one of them was dead. So,
Kind of like our horse deal.
yeah.
well, it's, I don't know how to get around that without some kind of,
There's laws that pertain to that,
Mm-hmm.
from animal cruelty.
yeah,
On-
I think the sheriff was called, or Randy, or whoever it is, but, there's just not enough teeth in it.
Well, but Randy can only do in town.
Well, he talked to somebody, so maybe that's the problem, I don't know what, but, I don't like to see animals abused, and as long as they've got water, they can say, well, they're not abused, But I don't know what's been in these containers.
Chances are he doesn't either.
That's something, you gotta control your own waste, in other words.
Yeah, you shouldn't let it,
Garbage and stuff like that. When it's blowing, as long as it's on his property, it's probably not much to do. When it's blowing across,
out onto the road.
becomes
or
another
the
issue
ditch
then.
or-
But I've been seeing in the Rotterdam Recorder lately, 2 or 3 different times, people complaining about a neighbor's yard,
Mhm,
dead vehicles parked everywhere.
mhm. Of course, that is under the law. It used to be the statute. If it's visible from a public road, it has to be licensed. And Yellowstone County got so fed up with all these unlicensed vehicles that they went out and started ticketing people. They said, okay, we'll haul them for you, or we'll ticket you, or you've gotta move it so it can't be seen from the road. And, you know, we got junkyards out there. And it doesn't pertain to farm vehicles. But, I mean, there's a guy on Diamond, what is that road, Diamond Gulch. I think he's got like 8 cars lined up with us. If they're not licensed, that's taxes that our county isn't getting, and we should be getting. And Yellowstone cracked down, and boy, it made a huge difference, because we lived out of town, and you'd be surprised at how quick people either got the stuff licensed or let them haul it.
Well, we have a junk vehicle program here in Broadwater.
Yeah, well, they didn't give them a choice. The deputies went around and said, hey, that's not licensed. In fact, they made enough, I think they hired somebody. In fact, I know they hired somebody, and now they're a rich county, but still, this was 30 years ago, of course, so, you know.
Back on task.
Yes, I'll.
Salary resolution. Are there any questions? You've all got a copy of it.
I do.
Carol?
If one of you commissioners exceed the 2/3 time, then what happens?
Where are you looking
Uh, 2/3 time commissioners,
at? Well,
if you exceed that time, are those hours? What does 2/3 time mean?
right now, the Teamsters said everybody had to be on public health insurance. And the only way that you could not be is if you worked less than 32 hours a week. Well, I have other insurance, and so to keep me from having to do it, I did not opt to go the extra hours. But now, and Corey told me the other night on the phone that we're gonna have a meeting. Teamsters want some stuff changed there again, so I don't know how it's gonna shake out, how to answer that, because we're waiting for Teamsters.
Thank you.
Other questions? Okay, I'll close that hearing, open our other meeting back up, and now onward, needing a motion on the salary resolution.
Madam Chair, I would like to request that we postpone adopting of the salary resolution until next week. The reason is, there's just a couple of things that I would like to see added for clarity and subtracted for, I guess, ease of doing business. A couple of things is the law clerk defined at $8 an hour. A lot of times you can get an intern for $0. I would like to just take that out so that we have the flexibility, or at a 0 to 8, depending on what is appropriate. But if we could actually have a person come in and give free training to the county, I think it would be a benefit to us not to be locked into, we have to pay minimum wage. And then I do question, I don't think deputies make allotments. think the allotment paid to elected officials is just to the elected official, am I wrong?
Where are you looking?
On, maybe you can help too, Ann.
Which one?
Right here, under deputy, says plus allotment. I think it's 90% of the base period, and the allotment is just for the elected official.
I think that's right.
I would like to double check on that, but I think if that is the case, we just need to have those removed. And then, the DES, I'm on page 1 if you guys are following along. And then the DES safety coordinator. The safety coordinator is actually under solid waste. And I think that we should clarify there, 50% of that salary is paid by the state DES, disaster and emergency services. And so I think we should show that, just like the county attorney, where the state pays half, we should show that the state's paying half of DES too. Same with the extension agent on the top of page 2. The state pays, if I'm not mistaken, 60%, the county pays 40% of their salary. So I think that should be delineated so that the public is aware of that partnership and that savings.
Good catch.
And then, the other is just, more of the same and just a little grammatical thing.
Okay,
So I'd like to just get clarification before we move this.
Franklin, any comments?
No comment.
Anything more?
Nope, that's it.
Okay. We'll move that to next week then. Okay. Go back to mail stuff then. Montana Association of Counties Healthcare Trust presents PPACA Employer Responsibilities Pay or Play Workshop. It's going to be held in Great Falls, November 10th. All Montana County Commissioners, Treasurers, Clerk and Recorders, Payroll and Administrators Support Staff are welcome to join us for this free and informative workshop focusing on healthcare reform mandates that will impact Montana County employers. Special attention will be given to the 2015 IRS reporting requirements specific to Montana counties. To register for the workshop and view the agenda, visit the MACO website at montanacounties.org. A block of sleeping rooms has been reserved at the Holiday Inn at the state rate for the evening of November 9th and is only guaranteed through October 19th. Please reference the MACO workshop when setting up your room reservation. At least Debbie should be going to this.
She went to one, she and I went together to one in Lewistown. And yes, I did share that with her already. Teamsters is going to help us out. There was a erroneous opinion from another training that we don't have to do it because we have Teamsters. That's absolutely not true, but we get a little bit extra assistance. So we still have to do it. Debbie's aware of this. Harold Blatty called and said, be aware of this. So, yeah, she has been to it, and I did share this with her already.
Okay. From Montana Fish, Wildlife and Parks. Montana Fish, Wildlife and Parks is requesting public review and comment on the following items. Supporting information on this item can be found on our website under Opportunity for Public Comment. Waterfowl regulations. I'm just going to highlight 2015 Elk Lake Shoulder Season Pilot Project. And you make a comment, and it gives their website and also their mailing address, if anybody's interested. That's it. October 14th, Brevard County Commissioners. Dear Commissioners, I have contemplated taking early retirement for some time. This letter will serve as my official notification that my last day will be November 30th, 2015. Through the years, the commission has allowed me opportunities for professional and personal development, and I sincerely appreciate the support. My time with the county has been gratifying. The position of administrative assistant for extension has been enriching, rewarding, and always interesting. Thank you for your supporting extension. County residents are fortunate, to have a wide range, knowledgeable resource available. Now that the decision is made, I am excited about my impending retirement. I would be available the first couple of weeks in December to work a few hours to train my successor to ensure a smoother transition. Sincerely, Debbie Ruckles.
I will just say for public comment, Debbie Ruckle is leaving big shoes to fill. Her attitude, her
Always
positive,
willing.
absolutely.
And this is from the Forest Service. It's a report of timber sales. If anybody wants to look at it, let's see it.
I did.
This is to all employees from Debbie Kelly. Tammy and I have decided to make a procedural change in our offices. This memo is to let you know of this change. Effective immediately, copies of reports, claims, time cards, agendas, minutes, etc. that we are asked to make will require a signature and date acknowledging the information requested and received. After talking with one another, we discovered some of the information that we've been asked for has already been copied, emailed, faxed, and otherwise already reproduced by one other of us again. This is not only costly in paper and ink expense, but the added time we are spending reproducing the same information. This is why we are requiring a signature, so that if another staff member asks for it, we can track who and when the information was given. If you need copies of claims, time cards, etc. for special reports, please keep a copy before you turn them in. It's easier for all parties involved if copies are kept before being filed, other than for us to pull and make copies of that. If you don't already do so, please make folders and designate specific places where you keep your reports and copies, so that you don't need to wait for us to reproduce the paperwork again. All employees, the public health clinic is ready for their yearly flu clinic on October 19th through the 21st. Employees and their families are welcome. You can either do a walk-in or make an appointment with Misty. The clinic will bill your insurance. This is from Washington, D.C., from the Federal Communications Commission. Applications for seeking modification of market-based AMTS lease. I think they're looking for signatures.
They are on those, they just haven't been marked. I'd be happy to take one and go through and find the signature pages if you like. Thank you. And before going on with that, I will move that we sign the contract.
That contract.
Excuse me. Actually, no, I think I was confused on what it was we were looking at here. I'm not sure this needs anything, I think it's informational.
When I glanced through, I couldn't see where we had to sign anything.
I should have looked more fiercely over your shoulder. Yeah, this just is informational. They might like some, response as far as what we have. There's some spots here, but I think maybe what we should do is verify with Charlie what it is that we need to do. But it looks like this is just informational at this point.
Well, they're looking for a printed name or party authorized to sign. I see.
It's a study. If you would like, I would be happy to go ahead and contact Mr. Kunkel and see if we're being requested to do anything with this and report back to the commission next week.
Okay.
And
On the org chart, there's some prim ones. What is that?
number one is down at the bottom, it says part-time and or seasonal. And then if there's a number two in brackets, that's contracted service, not on payroll.
Because if I blew like them, I would have seen that.
It was hiding. For you guys to know, this is just something we also do every year. Just part of management.
Let's go ahead and start, I think we're close enough. We have before us the organizational chart. We just lost one. Okay, under the fair, it's got Michelle Christensen as the fair manager,
Oh,
and she has since retired. And Jessica Crush is the new fair manager. And under the sheriff, I think that we can add those new deputies.
Debbie, one of the delays might be, and we can certainly check with Debbie, but if she hasn't gotten that paperwork yet, then she would be unadvised at this point. She just wait till she gets the official paperwork,
Okay,
but we can certainly ask her.
because it's my understanding, there's 2 new deputies and a new dispatcher too.
Yeah. And she should have those for payroll too ASAP,
Mhm.
if she doesn't already.
On Allison, it has a print too, contracted services not on payroll,
Where's that at?
extension right here.
Director service not on payroll. I wonder, that should be, if it's for Allison, it should also be for Corey and for DES, Mike. Where's Mike? DES, he just has a 1, he's part-time. Huh, yeah, we should clarify that too.
We've also got her in mosquito,
Which, yeah, she is the mosquito coordinator, but we should double check that too.
is there a new lady over there at Health Services?
Actually, yeah, Linda retired, didn't she? So that should come off.
But who's that hat maker?
Oh, she is funded by, and she should actually also be under contracted services, not on payroll. She is funded by the Agency on Aging under Rocky Mountain Development Council, and she's the in-home homemaker for seniors, low-income seniors. She goes in and she'll spend an hour per week with them, just to make sure that they're, doing okay, and extra eye. People can stay in their homes longer is the ultimate goal.
It also has Tammy Rouser as part-time. She works 32 hours.
She is actually considered technically part-time, because it's less than 40. It's just with the health insurance that full-time starts at 30. So for the org chart, she is actually officially part-time.
Okay. Mrs. Buck that helps with the cleaning, I don't see her here.
And she should be under a 2, good catch. I wonder too if under DES and Homeland Security, if we shouldn't have both Nicole and Julie as Mike's deputies there.
That's the local advisory council. I think under clerk of court, I think she's hired somebody,
Okay,
that temporary or part-time. I don't know who it is.
so we should include that too.
Did you see something?
That's all I see, I think.
So I'm gonna move adoption of salary resolution and also the org chart to next week.
I totally support that.
You okay with that, Franklin?
Yeah, it's fine with me.
Okay, just do that. Do you see anything else there? We'll be at ease for 5 minutes.
Actually, can we talk about some other county
Yes, we
business? All right, we need to, schedule the detention center tour that we had to cancel a couple weeks ago. And we're wondering if we have a light day next week, or, if, like in the afternoon would work.
Next Monday afternoon, we'll
Okay. All right.
like at 2:30.
Yeah, perfect. And we can clarify that too with, Brandon
Mm-hmm.
when he comes in.
Okay. Anything else, ma'am?
Yes, thanks.
Okay.
We got this from conference and I sent it via email. The Step Up Initiative is a show of support by county commissioners that we want to reduce the number of people with mental illness that are put in jails as a form of treatment, which is a big problem right now. It's a resolution I would like, if it's okay with the board, to go ahead and put this together for Broadwater County and bring it forward for adoption and submittal to NACO as a show of force to actually take and be able to put some teeth into it.
And to be able to help people.
Absolutely.
I'm fine with that, frankly.
And then also with that, the Center for Mental Health, we have a claim, it's not in here, but it will be next week. For our share, of course, we're in with, on the Center for Mental Health Board with 11 other counties. Because our meetings have been on Mondays for the past probably 10 years or so, the commission has had a third party attend in our stead. Well, I thought everything was going well. We get quarterly updates, and it's mostly been the money that we've talked about. Well, I've been new to the Health and Human Services Committee with MACO this year. In the past, it was on another committee, and they moved me over. Well, without having that involvement, I'm completely lost. Mental health is a huge issue. It's a huge issue for the county financially, and so what I would like to propose is that we block off time from our Monday meetings for one of us to fulfill that requirement as a board member of Center for Mental Health, attend those meetings. They're mostly teleconferences monthly, and still ask Mary Ellen to advise us because of her expertise. But I think we need to be privy to those conversations
So once a
firsthand.
month?
Yeah. I don't know when they are yet, but I didn't even want to pursue it without talking to you guys.
I think it would make sense that we have somebody there representing us.
Yeah, and somebody there who is also involved in the other areas that are intertwined with mental health. I just don't feel that we're getting the information as completely without having any involvement. So, if that's okay with you guys, I would like to pursue that and bring it back to the board on what dates those would be and a proposal on how that would work.
I'm fine with that, Franklin.
Well, how important this is, all right, but I think the best is that Mary Ellen attended those and getting back to us.
She doesn't get here very often is the problem, to inform us what's going on.
Well, I'm sure if there's anything important, I think we would if it's just ordinary business, it probably wouldn't matter at all. But I'm sure if there's anything important that comes up, she would get with us.
And
Or
Madam
we'd be
Chair,
sure to ask her to.
maybe it's just that I'm really dense. So maybe we can, since Franklin feels that he knows what's going on with this particular board and these issues, ask him to explain for me the payment structure and how we're involved with that, and help me understand why I thought there was an issue with that claim that we had. So Franklin, if you would help me out on that, I'd appreciate it.
Do you know how the financing is?
You know,
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the answer.
No, he doesn't know how it is.
So, if we're being fully informed right now, and I admit to being confused after going to the Health and Human Services Committee on this for MACO, why is it that you are opposed to this idea, Franklin, but yet cannot fulfill the request I have for more information?
like I stated before, I think Mary Ellen can, she's our representative, she can handle it for us.
What about this time of year, because she's so busy with her guiding business? Sarah?
Can I speak?
Yes?
I think, yeah, Mary Ellen is really busy with the guiding business right now. I'm on that LAC board. And Mike Stevenson, you know, we have a meeting Wednesday afternoon, I think it's 2:30. Funding is a real big problem. Right now, I think they've got 3 case managers here, but they have not funded or come through with LCSW or anything like that. So we've applied, as you know, for a grant, and I think we got it. And we are investigating grassroots help for ourselves, which if they're not gonna fund us and find, you know, where's that money going? That's the question. Because it kind of cuts out, they forget about, we've got Moore County too to worry about. And to expect somebody in crisis to go from Moore County all the way to Helena, for instance, is absurd, and veterans and everybody else. But Mike and I have talked a lot, and we're trying to get the schools involved. We've had a lot of problems in the last couple of years, deaths and everything. And I just went to a workshop up in Helena where they've done some great things with the school in Walla Walla, Washington. They're doing it in other places. I think sometimes we have to stand on our own and look for funding, because even though the funding may be in Great Falls, I don't see it, that it's gonna come here,
It doesn't trickle down.
you know?
And I think Sarah's right, I think our hospital is kind of seeing the same thing, they hired an LCSW themselves. But the issue is not necessarily wanting to continue to band together as a group, but getting the information. We cannot continue to try and address an issue this serious in a vacuum where we aren't getting the information that's out there. The grant came from Mako, but we should have been advised of that years ago, but because we weren't involved, we didn't know about it. And when we aren't acting, and yet there's help out there, but we're in a vacuum, so we're not privy to that information, I think we're doing a serious disservice to this county, to our citizens. I think being involved in the board in no way means that we are subservient to them. It certainly means that we can do our own thing.
Yeah, Mary Ellen's
Support
done
ourselves.
a great job. I mean, she's a good eyes and ears up there on that board. But, you know, she's one person. And we've identified quite a few other areas where mental health services are needed. And unless you're gonna open your eyes and look, you're not gonna see them. And a big part of that is getting the whole community involved. You're mentally ill, they're the hidden casualties. Look at our veterans. You know, and I'm not sure, did that social worker at the hospital, is she still there, or did she leave?
No, she's still there.
She is,
Yep.
okay.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's just I don't know where the funding's gonna come from unless we do it more or less on our own initiative.
Carol?
Are you saying that Mary Ellen's not attending the meetings and bringing the information back? Or
No, she
doesn't-
does.
No, and
Have
I
to
think
go
I
to all
said
of
very
them?
specifically that we would like her to continue as an advisory with her expertise. I did say that. She is doing a remarkable job. The problem is we get a report once a quarter, and it's been actually quite a bit longer than that since we've gotten our last report. Those meetings go on for a few hours, and there's conversations, there's brainstorming, there's, throwing ideas out on the table. That's where the value comes in, it's that networking. We are not privy to that, so a lot of the things that are out there, we're not hearing about. When Mary Ellen comes and gives her report on a quarterly basis, it's a very high level because she's here for 15 minutes. So she's taking 3 monthly meetings and condensing it into a 15-minute report. What I'm saying is, this commission is out of the loop. We're in a vacuum in the area of mental health, and I think we need to be involved ourselves so that we can bring to that discussion the information we have in the areas of assisted living and healthcare and public safety and prevention that is also intertwined with mental health, rather than staying out here all by ourselves in this vacuum and just getting the financial information, which is also very important, but it's not the only answer. We can not only help add to this discussion, but we also need more concrete information to bring home to better serve this community, especially the mental health piece of this community.
Well, do the
That's
other
it.
counties have someone that attends all the meetings? Are you
All
aware of
but
that?
Broadwater County,
Really?
yes. That's the problem. They're involved, we're not, we're ill-informed. We go to the big meeting once a year and we're lost because we're not involved and we're in this vacuum. That's the problem.
Now, which meeting are you talking, because Mary Ellen goes to the one in Great Falls, right?
She does. I'm talking about the Health and Human Services Committee meeting with MACO, which is where we
Oh.
talk about the information that comes from the mental health board's meetings. And we have nothing to contribute and have no idea what they're talking about.
Would you like me to bring that up tomorrow or Wednesday at our meeting?
Yeah,
You could come and,
I plan to.
good.
Yeah, I
We
had a
just don't
conflict
get
last week.
well, you were there when they claimed they were looking for an LCSW. There were two of us sitting at the table. And they said, well, there aren't any here. And we said, well, I know three, actually, Kevin Wise. But I said, you have to advertise for an LCSW, and unless you're gonna contact NASW, which they did not, who would have advertised, would have sent out a letter to all of them, and they would have put something in their newsletter saying, hey, there's a position open, but they never did that. So, I'd like to look at their books personally, but I'm no bookkeeper.
Yeah, and those are totally open. You can go over anytime. But, yeah, this is just an area that I just don't think it's serving our community to be in a vacuum with. And that's all I'm asking for, is support of this board to pursue being more actively involved in this realm.
Well, and I would ask you to be our second set of ears over there, and our mouth over there. Mary Ellen, yes, but maybe with hunting season, she can't be there, and we all know that. I mean, that's her livelihood,
Right.
and I think we all understand that. But if you could be there too.
And the other thing is she's not a hired commissioner. She's not voted by the people to represent their issues. So when a vote comes up on this board, she's not sure what we would instruct her to do because she is there. She doesn't have the ability to call us and fill us in on all the pieces that are taken into account to make that vote. It's happened on other boards too, where we have a third-party representative. Oftentimes Broadwater County doesn't have a vote because we don't have a presence there. Who knows how the commission would instruct that person to vote. So I appreciate very much your support in looking into this. I think it's extremely important that Broadwater County not be a vacuum and an island unto itself. We are part of a team in this state.
Well, and I don't think you can pick up a newspaper nowadays that it doesn't mention mental health.
Exactly.
Everywhere you look, I'm sure that Wynn could tell us that some of his customers over there, it's exactly what got them where they are.
So are you saying that one of the commissioners should go, or you'd have someone appointed by the commissioners to visit back and forth with you?
No.
What is your plan?
I'm sorry.
Mary Ellen will still be there representing us. I'm asking Laura to come and just listen and be part of it so that we become duly informed. Because with Mary Ellen's work,
Does she go though? She goes when she's supposed to, does she?
I don't know that. I think, other than this time of year, she probably does.
I think she does.
Yeah,
No.
I thought so.
We need her expertise. There's no question about it. None of us are RNs. We don't have any experience in this area other than what we've learned as commissioners. But the commission has to be involved on the board so that we can bring what we do know into the conversation and what we do know about the other elements of this that are a piece of mental health that an RN doesn't necessarily know, that a commissioner does from the other work that we do. Also, I believe we need a presence on the board so that when it comes time for a vote, that we have a vote and a say. And we aren't just being picked up and carried along with other counties that may not have the same needs we do. A person who's appointed by us doesn't have the information to provide that vote and oftentimes abstains because they don't know how to vote on behalf of the county. I think that's an issue that we should develop or address, and I think it's unfair to somebody appointed to a board to put them in that position. And again, I'll repeat, I think Mary Ellen's done a superb job for the county. but she doesn't have the authority by the people of this county to vote for what it is that they need.
So
So
the,
that's a disservice.
so the people that vote on that from the other counties are commissioners? Okay.
Mhm. And again, they have the authority from their people to vote on their behalf. Then we don't have that, we're completely out of it.
Thank you.
Sure.
Grandpa, Meehan, come on up. We wanna see pictures.
I wish I had some new ones. Yeah, I didn't get any. He was a little fussy this weekend, so.
Welcome aboard.
You know, that was kind of funny because I was taking out Mario signs on, whatever, it was Thursday. I'm sitting there, I'm like, "Oh, you guys got grandkids?" The only person was Vance. I was like, oh, God, I feel old. Oh, man. Because there's some people that are a lot older than I am that don't have grandkids, and I'm like, oh, man. But, yeah, he's.
Sit back and enjoy.
Oh, I am. He's, you know, I don't know why he was fussy, but he should have been happy his dad got it out, but man, maybe he's just not up to that point where he understands that whole concept. But Mama took care of him, so I guess it's okay, so. Well, we went out and looked. Did you get my text?
Yes, I
Okay.
did, thank you very much.
So, we went out and tried to find something that was gonna be something we were comfortable, and they have a lease that came back. It was a 2014 Fusion, and they were gonna certify it, which extends the warranty out on it. It costs $500 more to have it certified, but, basically, with the trade-in, we're still gonna go with the 6,000 on the trade-in, and then the 8,600 we have in that vehicle account, and then we're still short $5,728. So, which is, I think the last one was 11 or 12, so,
Where'd you say, 57?
yeah, 57. According to Brandon's notes, Brandon was gonna be here today, but I think pheasant hunting in North Dakota took it out of him. And so he texted me at 5:30 this morning saying he was sick.
Yeah.
You know, overabundance of pheasant will do that to you. So I don't, that's what his notes are. So he says the car he got it at $20,344, and then $6,000 trade-in on the two Durangos, and which leaves the $14,344, and then the vehicle fund that we have right now is $8,616, so it should be $5,728. So
Well, I will move that we allow you to proceed with this plan, with the used Fusion, and infill the vehicle fund at this point by $5,728 from PILT.
It's moved and seconded to put 5728 into automobile fund for the, who's it going to?
detective.
Detective. We'll be using.
And I know, I think Mike was saying first or second week of November, he's gonna start on that office, so, get that going. Seth's doing some detective work now, and he's loving it, but trying to jostle a cute little workstation has been a little cumbersome for him. And, he's struggled a little bit trying to keep everything in some organizational level that he can maintain, so he's doing well though, so doing really well.
It's
So,
been moved and seconded, then we put 5728 into the vehicle fund for a vehicle for the detective. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Motion carried.
And Elaine, would you share with these guys the history of this?
Mhm.
This isn't the first we're hearing about this.
It's not?
Yeah.
We have a detective position now, but they don't have a car. And it's pretty hard riding a bike when you're trying to decipher what's going on. And so we gave them permission to go look. Last week they came in, God bless them, with a brand new car. We said, see what's out there that's slightly used, but not brand new. And so this car is unmarked, and will remain unmarked. It will be for the detective to do his job.
The only thing they'll have is a radio. They'll have radio in it, and then he will have a light or something inside. So if he goes to a crash or whatever else, he can turn his lights on and still be in the roadway, doing whatever he needs to do without violating that law. Fuel siren in it. It's not an emergency response vehicle. It's, you get there when you get there. It's not, if the detective's going, it's because there's already a cop there, so we don't need to be in a rush. So, we're gonna try to keep it very simple, and keep it, like I told him, your days of running and gunning are done. You need to get comfy behind your desk and do some investigations. So, he's prepared, so this will be.
How many miles are in this car?
Not too many.
Come on through, Bob. All right, see ya.
I think it was what he said, I thought he said it was 22,000 on it.
And what color is it?
White.
That'd work good.
So, yeah, I guess I'll see if I can. But it was like 20, it's like 22,000, something like that, so. Then like it says a lease car, so they're gonna go through it and check everything, make sure everything's good, and then, they'll certify to extend that warranty out. I don't know exactly how far it goes out, but, it shouldn't, need much work, so, you know.
Strong like should.
Yeah, it gets, you know, he shouldn't be driving like it's a police car, so, so it should be okay. So, thank you guys, appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thanks.
Next time you come, you have to bring pictures.
I don't know, I wish I did, you know, I thought I had some good ones, and I just don't know if you know, there's so many grandparents running around taking pictures, and so it was really, everybody had different phones, and so, I don't know if you saw that one or not.
Oh,
That is sweet.
that's precious.
And he's already gained, so he left the hospital at 7 pounds, 2 ounces, and he's back up to 8 pounds now. Yeah, so he's only
Not
born in
feeding,
19.
huh?
Yeah, he's eating, so I had to laugh. She was changing his diaper, and so she cleaned him up. He pooped again. Just kept going. And I'm sitting there laughing. She's getting frustrated. And
This is how it goes, Mom.
Yep, you're a new mother. So, oh yeah. Tried to convince Wyatt to go help him. He's like, yeah. Thank you guys.
Thanks, Win. Not from me, no.
Bernadette is coming.
She's on the, schedule for 11:30.
Oh, she is.
Yeah,
And she's usually here early if she,
yeah.
Mhm.
This is for the COS reviews?
Certificates of it.
Oh. Yeah.
That being the case, we're gonna recess for lunch early and be back at 1:30.